Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me on today. I got a message and it lifted me up. Some words someone said to me, and I was actually call myself encouraging them. A loved one had passed, and I wanted to encourage them and let them know that the spirits are not resting, and they're with them, and they want them to carry on their legacy. Remember what was important to them, and we carry on their legacy. And they told me, thank you. And iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. And that, that's powerful because it does. As I lift you up, you lift me up because I see that we're growing. I see that my words matter. I see that love drives out hate. I see that we're making a movement in love. I mean, I would not rather be doing anything else than growing. Somebody could come and offer me $1 million, the whole world or whatever, to lead a grow program. I wouldn't leave it for nothing in the world. I would not be rather doing anything else than doing the work of the Lord. Like I told you, I got an episode, there is no job like working for God. And it isn't. Truly working for God, and your heart is in it, and I see people who, I have connected with across the world, across the country, who are doing things and making a difference, in some kind of way with God's people. And you will be blessed. The Lord sees your work. That is true. When you go to meet judgment, good work, my good and faithful servant. That would be spoken unto you, and as you will be carried through in this life, you will be blessed for your good works, that are done out of your heart, that are done out of the goodness of your heart. See, it may seem like, the evil is getting over, the evil is, they getting by with what they're doing, but they're not, because I'm going to tell you, it's a greater force than the evil that's on this earth. It really is, it's just like how I told you, sitting out on the bench on a warm day, and feeling the light of God, because I'm going to tell you something, you're going to be blessed, just like you feeling the light of God, you're going to be blessed. That's why we have to love, because God is love. We have to do good towards one another, lifting one another up, helping one another in any kind of way. Maybe just through some words of encouragement, saying something good to somebody, instead of turning around telling some foolishness, some gossip, something that's going to bring somebody down, somebody don't really need to hear about anyway. The buck stops here. You need to stop that at the door. Don't let that chaos, negativity, and drama penetrate. Just like you keep the burglars out, keep that mess out your life, because when you let it in, it's going to start manifesting. When you get to get on the phone, start asking about folks, there you go. There you go. And next thing you know, you in the midst of some mess. We need to start spreading love, spreading positive messages, encouraging one another. Yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can. It's in you because God says so. And anytime somebody told you that you can't do it, they didn't want you to do it. Yeah, they didn't want you to do it. So yes, you can. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and apply for that job, and go ahead and go in there and sell yourself in the interview. That's another thing that people need to realize. When you going in the interview, it ain't about what you like to do, your hobbies and different things like that. You going in there trying to sell yourself. That's what you doing. You are sitting there selling yourself. And so describe your abilities. What are your accomplishments? What are your achievements? What you trying to get in life? What are your goals in this company? Don't say I want to work here for 2 years and then go over to IBM or whoever, Microsoft, whatever, to sell yourself within that company, and then show your ability once you in there. do your work unto God. Because, see, that's how I used to do. I did my work unto the Lord. I did, it was time I lollygag a little bit, but really, I did my work unto to God. I did. In the end, when I got to my fork in the road, heck yeah, it was time to it was time to do right, get right, and we get there. We get to a fork in the road, and where we become transformed. We really do. We start to think different. We don't think like that no more. We don't act like that no more. You don't laugh at some, laugh at the kids, the grandkids. They do enough, to make you laugh and say enough to make you laugh. There you go. Now you got something funny to laugh and talk about. Call and tell what the grandkids done. Let's talk about some positive stuff. Let's meditate on the positive. Because, see, we done spent enough time focusing on foolishness and the evil. And, see, we trying to rise from oppression. We trying to, that's all a part of it. Is lifting one another up. Iron sharpens iron. And it does. And that's what we got to do. We got to keep our iron sharpened, as we are royalty and as we are lifting, as we are rising, as we are growing, because we growing all over the world. We are, much love, one love, for real, love conquers all. Love drives out hate, even Prince said so, love will conquer if you just believe. Michael Jackson said, "This is it." That's another thing I meant to say. Up until here recently, I didn't even realize that I had been being moved by the spirits up until here recently. When I did that, I actually did an episode dedicated to Michael Jackson. This is it, because this is it. Grow is it, and he helped me do it. The spirits are not resting. I mean, all the way back to the Marvin Gaye episode make me want to holler. I was moved by Marvin Gaye when I did that and didn't even know it, and I'm on there. I think I was doing some of his verses, some rapping or something, that I was doing, some singing, because he would croon to you and make you act right, try to make you, come on now, people, we got, but he was singing in a way that you stop and think, wait a minute, yeah, he right. Let me try to get right while this song on at least. Then when it go off, I can go back, because I'm telling you, Marvin Gaye had a way of telling you, come on, people, come on now, you're making me want to holler. You're making me want to go there. Making me want to scream. Come on, get it together. I'm telling you, he did. He had, and he does. He still does. The spirits are not resting, people. I'm telling you, they are not resting. So when your dearly departed one, who you have lost, live their legacy. What was important to them? What mattered to them? They wouldn't want you sitting around crying and whoa, I can't make it without mom. I can't go. You have to, what would mama wouldn't want you doing that? Come on now, you're a conqueror. Rise, conqueror. Come on now. Mama spirit gonna help lift you up. Dry your tears. Look at her beautiful picture. Put her picture beside your bed. Look at her beautiful picture, and remember her legacy. She left a legacy of love, that's for sure, because you love the heck out of mama, or whoever it was that you're dearly departed, remember their legacy. That's what's important. That's what we have to remember is their legacy. What was important to us. I know my brother loved to make us laugh, he that's how he spread love, just coming around making everybody laugh. So I hope that as we are going through, because see, we ain't gonna be sitting up here all sad and all down and out. We gonna overcome. We gonna have genuine equality, and in the meantime, as we on this train, we can have a good time, as we are doing it, because we not gonna be here suffering and laying down and walking around defeated, because we are royalty. We gonna look it, we gonna act it, we gonna think it, we gonna walk it, and we gonna be it, because that's what we are. We are descendants of royalty. So we gonna rise, kings and queens. We gonna be that, because we are that. and one love. We're going to start spreading love. That was the message of Dr. King. Love drives out hate. That was the message of all the freedom fighters before. Look at them. Look at Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions. Look at the music from back then. How they were trying to tell us, to love one another. How they were really trying to tell us to come up and rise up above the oppression, rise up, even though some of them fell into it, but still they became legends still, even became legends over this country, so we have to live their legacy. We have to keep on fighting the good fight, of the freedom fighters, because they didn't fight for nothing. They didn't march for nothing. This is not the way that we are, the way that we have been. That is not Dr. King's dream, of the oppression that's in the community, that's going on. These rappers, they get ready to get it together, because they are all legends. They ain't one better than the other one. The East Coast, it ain't no better than the West Coast. I lived on both sides, and ain't nothing no better than the other one. Both sides got an ocean. Both sides got mountains. Both sides got rivers. Both sides got different color people. So I don't know what's different than one. I've been on the East Coast, the West Coast, the North and the South. And it's all the same. Everybody bleed the same red blood. Everybody short, tall, different kind of people. So ain't nobody no better. I ain't seen nobody be able to jump and fly up in the sky, yet. Beside me, I ain't seen nobody be able to do that, so ain't nobody better than nobody is what I'm saying. We are all legends, we really, and really we all from everywhere. If you want to get technical, if you really want to get technical, you might as well just hold up both fingers, the E and the W, because you from all of it. They took slaves, our ancestors, and shipped them off everywhere, all over the place, that's why we growing everywhere, because people are everywhere. They all over the world. So that's what I'm saying. U, E, and W. That's I done saw that. See there? I done squashed that. See, I done something. I done something right and got us growing. So I done squashed they beat, but they just don't know it's squashed. I'm going to let them know it's squashed when I meet them. When I talk to them. I'm going to tell them, hey, that be squashed. Ain't nobody greater. So, let's rap about something else. Let's rap about love. Let's rap about coming up. Let's rap about rising up. Let's rap about getting something. Let's rap about genuine equality. Let's rap about Dr. King's dream. Let's get on something positive. Get off that foolishness. It's time to do better. It really is. I'm telling you, you need to let your people listen to it. Let them know it's time to grow. It's time to get on something. It's time to rise. We got to rise above and let this country see that we as a people can come together without them, and then they gonna start to see. They gonna start to do something then. They gonna start writing, hey, wait a minute, we gotta start writing up some legislation, because see, they done rose up now. Now they want genuine equality. Now we see that it's a movement. And they done went and did it positive. Wait a minute now. Wasn't nobody burning down no buildings. They done rose up to come and tell us they ready for some genuine equality. They done rose up to come and tell us that they ready for the Supreme Court to end hate speech. They done rose up to tell us that they ready to root out the Klan out the police department. I mean, dig them out. I want them dug out of there. Cause see, we ain't got time to let them grow out. We gotta dig them out. I'm serious. I want them out. I want the Klan out. And on top of that, I'ma find out who put Khalif Browder in Rikers Island and left him there. I'm going to find out who did that, and we're going to get some kind of justice. I don't care what it is. You're going to face the nation, and you're going to apologize, for leaving him over there, because I'm going to find out who did it. Watch. I'm going to find out. If it take me to the last day, I'm going to find out who put Khalif Browder, a 16-year-old, in Rikers Island over $1,000 fine and left him there to die, really, to die. And mentally, that's what he did. He mentally died. He got out. He met Ellen. He met Jay-Z. He met a bunch of people, but he died mentally. You know, he rose up still, but he mentally died after that. And I want to find out who did it. I'm telling you, yeah, it makes me emotional. I got kids, I want and I feel for that mother, who didn't even. She didn't even see no kind of justice in the end for her son. She died before any kind of money came out, but it ain't even about the money. It's about what is being done. What are they doing? They over there slow walking the legislation is what they doing, but Illinois done showed them how to do it. They done came together and showed them how to do it. So come on, New York. What are you waiting on? You need to get this going because you're already overpopulated with the mass incarceration anyway. So we need to do something, New York. Come on. I'm going to start writing out there and start getting on some folks. They don't read them tweets. It's so many thousands and thousands of tweets. I'm going to have to send some emails. I don't even believe they read none of those tweets. I don't. I reach out to them on tweet. They don't read those tweets. They send out their own tweet. And there you go. But that's okay. It's more than one way to skin a horse. So, greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. Love drives out hate. We're going to keep rising, people. Let's grow.